FlySpain refresher on ridge soaring. We're going to go through all of the key points, but please remember this video isn't a substitute for professional instruction. This video is aimed at giving you a good general understanding of ridge soaring, and therefore it's very important you seek local advice when flying somewhere new. This will quickly highlight any hidden dangers, keeping you safe on the site. And equally, if there are any sweet spots where thermals are usually triggered, it can help extend your flight time. Before actually flying, it's very important to get competent with your wing. To do this, we need to take your wing ground handling. The key to confidence on windy takeoffs comes with experienced reverse launching, and to practice these safely, you'll need your wing and an open area. The bigger, the better. This helps with the laminar airflow and gives you time to sort out problems should they arise. We have a video on the reverse launch here if you need some refreshing on it. Once you're happy with that, we recommend you start in nice gentle winds between 5 and 10 kilometers an hour and increase the wind as your skills develop, working your way up towards 20 kilometer an hour winds. Going out in stronger winds straight away will not do you any favours, so take it nice and steady. It's essential that your ridge rules are well ingrained before flying. These rules will keep you safe. We find a good way to go through these is on the ground in a group, simulating that we're flying on a ridge. This way we can safely go through the different in-flight scenarios and talk about them as a group. There are two main rules that you need to follow when ridge soaring though. The first of which is when you're converging with another glider. The pilot, who has the ridge on their right hand side, has the right of way. So if you look to your right and you see the ridge, you have the right of way. Although this is the rule, it's always good to take early avoidance to other pilots, making your intentions very clear. Whether you intend to stay close to the ridge or away from it, you'll give other pilots notice, enabling them to pass safely. The second rule in ridge soaring is overtaking. Technically, you're able to overtake wherever you like. However, we advise against it altogether. There is rarely a need to do so. Taking early action to avoid overtaking a manoeuvre is preferable. However, if you do need to overtake, bear in mind that the pilot you're going to overtake will probably be turning away from the ridge. Therefore, overtaking them on the outside should be avoided completely, as if they don't check before turning, you'll end up in a lot of trouble. As I mentioned, you always want to be turning away from the ridge. This keeps your ground speed lower and you safer. From above, the pattern you draw should be similar to a figure of 8. It's a really good place to practice turns without losing altitude, so try turning with just your body weight to help maintain height and not cause too much wasted energy. If you were to turn in towards the ridge completely, you would have your glider speed plus the wind speed accelerating you towards the ridge quickly. Hence we turn away from the ridge unless we have sufficient altitude for this to be safe. So to get to these higher altitudes, we need to be finding the best lift on the ridge. This typically occurs above the steeper terrain. For example, cliffs create far stronger lift than a rolling hill, as when the wind hits that cliff, it will be directed upwards. Also, knowing exactly which way the wind is coming from will help you maintain height, as the most into wind parts of the ridge will always create the most lift. This will maximise your flight time and your height. The higher you manage to get while ridge soaring, the further out the lift band will reach. So you can fly out in front of the ridge until you start descending to work out where the lift band finishes. Doing this will help you fly in much nicer, smoother air. Closer to the hill, the air will be affected by venturi, which causes the airspeed to increase. There are two big dangers when flying ridge soaring sites. Firstly, rotor. Rotor is uneven wind that occurs behind or in the lee side of obstacles such as buildings, trees or ridges. Anything the wind hits will give off this effect. So we need to avoid these areas. Also, an increase in wind speed. This will be noticed mostly if you gain a lot of height and if you're struggling to penetrate into wind. If this occurs, then you have your speed bar. Face away from the ridge and into wind, apply your speed bar and stay in a straight line. Eventually you'll come out of the lift band and start dropping. When you do, take your speed bar off, slowly descend and keep descending, as it's a really good time to make a safe landing before the winds get too strong. Hope this video helps you out. Happy flying, stay safe and most of all, have fun.